Yeah, we got this from Count Dankula from his second channel, Count Dankula 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm sure most of you remember the axe and knife wielding Scottish girl in Dundee, Scotland. Her terrified response to a pair of gypsy nonces, and legacy media tried to gaslight everyone into thinking, "Oh, that's not what's going on." I think police and government tried to gaslight everyone. It's like, "Oh, no, this was a hate crime." You know, the girl there is a hate criminal. She's not supposed to be carrying those around. You know, we got strict knife and
Celestium is raiding the channel on Rumble.
Raiders, welcome in. Celestium, how's your stream? Raiders, if it's your first time here, I'm Lord Rexworth. I'm an English nobleman VTuber, and we're getting caught up on the events of the world after I was out of action for a couple of weeks dealing with some IRL things. Oh, yes, thank you so much for the Rumble raid. Welcome, Raiders. Groypild, thank you for the follow. Lucky Back, thank you for the follow as well. The Bean Raid. Timothy Sticklepasty, good to see you. How's the stream, Celeste? Again, thank you for just the yeoman's work you've been doing for men's mental health awareness, especially for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Incredible the amount of money that's been raised for charity. I wish you could have done more to help. Certainly tried to pop into stream whenever I could. Hopefully we can get a collab set up before the month is out, or maybe sometime next month. Playing some Minecraft, crafting in the mines. Fantastic. Well, Raiders, if you do need to raid and run, I totally get it. Busy weekend for a lot of people, especially with Father's Day. But yeah, do exercise, normal after stream care, get up and stretch, grab something to eat, something to drink, that sort of thing. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you for the Rumble raid. Thank you all for the follows on Rumble and on Kick and on Twitch. Yeah, I would love to play Minecraft with you, brother. I can't promise I'd be any good. Probably get blown up several times by the creepers, but yeah, we'd have fun. We'd have some fun. I have a tendency, as men are wont to do, to just sort of dig a big hole, just to see how far down I can dig a hole, and see what's in the big hole that I dig. So prepare yourself to be wondering where's Rexworth? Where's Rex? Where's he run off to? Meanwhile, I'm over here in a gigantic crater because I've dug a big hole, and I'm just seeing where it goes. Yeah, we yearn for the diggy hole. But yes, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Welcome back, Lord. Thank you, Nico. Yes, thank you. Right, let's get over to this. This from the second channel of Count Dankula. Court found the Dundee dual wielder was telling the truth after all. Sort of shouting the lie, but trying to whisper the retraction. Except it's not being whispered, it's being amplified, thanks to people like Count Dankula. GD, thank you for the follow. How funny is that? Your sabbatical digging a hole, doing a vid from Dankula, who did do a story about a guy who dug a gigantic tunnel. Funny how that works. Let's take a look at this.
Well. It looks like a bunch of people were completely wrong. It looks like
and some people called it and were right all along. Funny how that works.
A bunch of people were peddling misinformation while accusing everybody else of peddling misinformation.
Projection much.
Like the police had to go in and actually do their job and do some investigating. And then after the police said, stop sharing lies online, the police then looked at the case and went, oh, wait a minute. Turns out we were the ones actually sharing lies online.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! Oh no! How terrible is it? Oh no!
Does everybody remember the Dundonian dual wielder? That brave little girl that came out with the axe and the knife to defend her sister from 2 migrants, and then everybody demonized her and her sister and went, it's just a couple of heads and fucking blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
it turns out the little girls were telling the truth.
Pepperidge Farm
They were
remembers.
attacked by a pair of migrants, and they
Uh-huh.
defended themselves against the migrants. And the
Turns out it was a pair of gypsy nonces all along. I'd love to hug Celestia and bump fist and have a drink with her, man. Rex and I need to sit down with a cuppa. Sounds good to me.
girls got demonized for it. And it turns out both of the migrants have now been found guilty. Brother and sister guilty
Anyhow,
of
that
attacking
works.
girls in Dundee, and there he is laughing outside the court.
Yeah.
The man has been found guilty
Not laughing
of
now, are
making
you?
sexual remarks to a group of girls aged between 12 and 14 in Dundee before grabbing and pushing one of them to the ground.
Grabbed and pushed one of them to the ground and was making sexual remarks to a group of girls aged 12 and 14. They're not even teenagers, like pre-teens at that point. And grabbed and pushed one of them to the ground. Both of them should be thrown out of the UK, never to return. No. Yes, and that's the moderate solution. That's the moderate solution.
Which is what the little girls claimed from the very beginning. In fact, you can hear them saying it in the video that was filmed.
Yeah.
But everybody went, oh, look at those dumb little working class girls. Fuck them. Let's protect the migrant. The migrant who it turns out was making sexual
Yeah,
remarks.
they're all just like, yeah, those little chubs in the making. There's little slugs to be. Bunch of working class girls. They don't really matter. Turns out they were right. They were just defending themselves.
12-year-old. So he's a beast. Basically, he's been outed as a beast. So I don't know
Yeah.
why he's smiling about that in Dundee of all places. He's out.
Because we refer back to the Sam Hyde meme. Do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny. Emphasis on they think it's funny.
Say the court's smiling, but he's basically a great big dirty nonce that was making the sexual comments to a 12-year-old. Ilya Belov, 22, claimed he confronted the girls after receiving abusive remarks and said he saw one of the girls with a knife in her waistband before the assault. His sister, Nadjedza Belova, 20, previously admitted assaulting a 13-year-old girl by seizing and pulling her hair, dragging her to the ground and striking her on the head to her injury during the incident. The pair will be sentenced at Dundee Sheriff.
Did this to a 13-year-old girl. You are an evil person if you think that's somehow okay. You are an evil person if you think that these people deserve anything less than just an appointment with Chippy-san. Giving up on moderation. They really don't know what they're dealing with when they wake us up. Yeah, haven't helped anyone when the Saxon learns to hate.
Court on 5th of August. The court heard that Belov had said, "Hello, sexy, I'll show you a good time," to the girls while walking past them in the Lockheed area of the city.
Yeah, date with Chippy-san. Just immediate appointment with Chippy-san.
After one of the girls called him a creep, he had returned to confront the group and called his sister, who arrived shortly afterwards, and assaulted one of the girls. Belov then claimed he had seen the girl's weapon and, fearing for his sister, had pushed her, even though he was the one that started it all in the first place. He claimed the children had called him a migrant and used an expletive, which I think is a
Oh, no. Anyway.
warranted. I think that's a pretty warranted response,
Yeah.
considering
Yeah,
you were
that's
trying
all right.
to nonce on a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Uh-huh.
Hello, sexy, I'll show you a good time, and you said that to like a bunch of 12 and 14-year-olds.
I think they're fully within their right to call you a migrant. To say, fuck off, you migrant. Or, fuck off, you gypsy nonce.
I'm just saying. But Sheriff Tam Niven Smith rejected Belov's claim of self-defense and said the girl's evidence had been eloquent. Oh, which is rather interesting for a bunch of stupid little working-class Neds, as the media and everybody else was liking to call them.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah, what would the media would have you wondering, what would they know about eloquence? Turns out they're the most eloquent people, at least in this case. People in the media, they don't know anything about eloquence. Foreign concept to them. One of those bourgeois, outdated white man's concepts that's got no place in a modern, diverse world.
Said, I'm entirely satisfied by proof beyond reasonable doubt that the trigger for all of this were the comments that you made. Well done, he started it. The court had heard previously that the 12-year-old girl Belov attacked admitted pulling a knife and axe from her waistband, but only after Belov had assaulted her. The girl told the trial previously that her sister started to shout at Belov after the remarks, but the pair were pulled away by a friend. She then told the court Belova approached the group, pushed her, and threw her sister to the ground. The girl said she had tried to go for the woman but was pushed by Belov. She said he pushed her on the head and her head hit the handrail of a ramp. Cross-examined by Belov's solicitor Larry Flynn, the girl said she had taken the axe and knife from her waistband and that Belov filmed her with them on his phone.
That's the footage that we
Belov
saw.
told the trial that he had been walking
The
to
whole
a
world
shop
saw
with
it.
his father for cigarettes when he saw a group of young girls. He claimed that they started to make cheeky remarks, and one called him an expletive migrant. Now, when you're walking past a group of youths in Scotland, yeah, you're going to hear some shit.
You're gonna.
Used to get it all the time, especially when I was younger and I was skateboarding past them and everything. Like, I've had bottles, like glass bottles chucked at me and everything, and that was just part and parcel of growing up in the working class utopia that is Scotland, right? It's just a thing that happened, right? But it only happened
Can be a
when
bit of
you
a
were
rough
younger,
lot.
if you were like an adult or something. They
The
didn't
meanwhile,
really
though,
talk to you. Now, whenever I'm going,
the fact that she had to go outside prepped with weapons like that shows the dire situation already. Yes, and in Scotland, no less, where you would think that you go far enough north into the UK and get away from this. No, you're never really getting away from it.
through Coatbridge and some of them clock me, I get, oh, they're big fucking Count Dankler, right, mate, Dankler, I'm on it for a sesh. And I'm like, you're all 15, mate, no. My days of drinking in the street are long past, long since
Right?
gone. I mean, I never did that. I never drank in the
Certainly
street
not with the
at
likes of
15.
them.
Absolutely not. I never. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's Scotland. There's nothing else to fucking do. That's what everybody bloody done. But basically, if you walk past a group of Neds, you're probably going to get a thing or two fucking said at you, right?
Side note, apparently Boston's got a bit of an issue with our Scottish brethren paying a visit to them. They're drinking all the booze, and Boston's running out. So yeah, that's what happens when you invite the Scots in. They're going to drink all your beer. Well, I mean, if that's the worst that can happen, we can deal with that. Not surprising. Also, they found the famous cop slide. Yeah.
However, it seems that this guy actually started on them first. So, and they
Because
then
of course he
back,
did.
which I feel is completely warranted, especially given what he said. Asked by Flynn if he said "hello, sexy" to the girls or "I'll show you a good time," he replied, "No, I swear on my God." Bella.
Yeah, I think he's gay. I just don't believe you, mate. I think you were, mate. I think you're lying. I think you're doing a bit of a takia. Go far enough north in the UK, you just end up with people you can't understand. Northern English and Scottish people. No, I would know. I'm Northern English, part Scottish. On my dad's side of the family being Scottish, so Boston definitely having an experience with the Scots, yeah.
Claimed that after walking away, he was still being disrespected, so he turned around and went back to the group. They're kids, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to go back and like, oh, I have to prove myself.
No, yeah, you just walk away. You just leave them the fuck alone. Like that bit from Hot Fuzz with the guy in the countryside.
Your kids shouted abuse, you fucking smile and walk away, or it's fine to hit back with a zinger. It's fine to hit back with a little zinger. Like, what was the best zinger ever? It was Diogenes the Cynic, and he saw a whoreson, not being insulting, it was literally the son of a prostitute, throwing stones into a crowd of people, and Diogenes said to the boy, "Careful, boy, you might hit your father." It's like, fucking...
Brilliant.
That was fucking good. But anyway, where was I? He said at that point the girl started panicking and said he was following them. Belov said he then phoned his sister as the group had grown in numbers and he was worried about myself. Why are you hanging about?
Yeah,
I'm going to take on this
just
group
walk
of
away.
children.
Yeah, just walk
Keep
away.
walking, mate. Like, a bunch of Waynes said something cheeky to you. Who fucking cares? Keep fucking walking. No, I'm going to phone my sister to come and beat up the bunch of children. Like, fuck off. Belov
What a
said
little
his sister
bitch.
then arrived and grabbed one of the girls by the hair and pushed her.
Yeah, that's the other angle. Is like the fact that he called his sister of all people. It's like, what? That I don't know about any of you, but growing up, you did something like that. You were asking to get bullied a lot worse than you already were. It's just no. You don't call your sister of all people to deal with that. You might call your mates, maybe an older brother, but your sister? No. That's asking to get bullied even worse. Legit have a guy at work with such a strong Scottish accent, I don't understand a French person speaking French better, and I know no French. It's true. It's true. UK's crazy. It is.
She's 20, by the way, and they're all like 12.
We're lucky we can understand Dankula as it is. Barely.
Asked when he saw the other girl holding the weapon, he said, after I pushed her. So she waited until you assaulted her first before pulling the weapons out to defend herself. That's interesting, that.
Yeah.
He said he had previously seen a knife sticking out of her t-shirt. Asked why he pushed the girl, he said, I thought she was going to do something. Well, she probably was in response to your sister attacking her sister.
Yeah.
So she wanted to defend her sister. And
justified.
By the way, it sounds like you fucking started this. After the girl fell to the ground and got up, Belov said she pulled a knife and axe and tried to get to us. Belov said he followed the girl.
And yet she didn't. What a pity.
As she held the weapons, which the court heard were recovered from a nearby roundabout. Prosecutor Michael Robertson asked Belov, you were the adult in this situation. You could have just walked away, couldn't you? Yes, you could have, because a kid said something cheeky to you. Who fucking cares? Genuinely, who cares? Like, oh, my ego's shattered because some 12-year-old boy called me gay. I'm going to go and beat him up now. Like some fucking 12-year-old who fucking gives a shit. Belov replied, you are right. I needed to know why they are disrespecting me for no reason because they're 12-year-olds.
No, you don't.
Outside.
No, you don't. They're young girls. They're children. Children are mischievous and are going to do stupid things. No, you don't need to know that. You can just, as the prosecutor said, you can just walk away.
Cheeky. They're cheeky and they cause shit.
Yeah.
Like, the only time that I've ever actually chinned...
The cheeky little shits. The children. Selden Nimar, thank you for the follow.
A bunch of fucking Waynes was... There was one time in Coatbridge, this is again at the fucking... This was right at the plug, right where the fucking Tunnock's tea cake statues are. There's a billboard right up next to the bridge, and there was a guy fitting the billboard up, and a bunch of Neds were nearby, and they were Waynes, and they were making snowballs and throwing them at the guy. Now, this guy is up on a ladder at a billboard, and I went over and checked him, and I went, like, you know that if he falls off of that because you're hitting stuff with him, he could probably fucking die, and then all yous go to jail forever because you're being fucking idiots. Right? And then when I said that to them, they did kind of go like, aye, all right. And like realised how stupid they were being. And I think when I put it to them that way, they were kind of like, oh yeah, that is kind of stupid actually. And they stopped. And that's the only time I've went up and chinned them. And I was quite angry because kids throwing snowballs, who fucking gives a shit, right? But throwing snowballs at a guy who's way up on a fucking ladder, like that's something else entirely. Like the guy, it's some drop, by the way. If he fell off of that, he was dying.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's the only time I've ever went up and screamed at them. And to be fair, I didn't get. They went, aye, all right, fair enough. Actually, I was expecting them to give me cheek, but no, they actually agreed with me.
They're reasonable,
which was strange. That never ever happens when you're conversing with BAMs. But anyway, Robertson said, "You phoned your sister and not the police." Belov said, "I thought we were in danger."
So you're supposed to phone the police if you think you're in danger. You don't call your sister. This isn't adding up. You say you thought you were in danger. Okay. Still not answering the question, why'd you phone your sister, not the police? If you're in danger, phone the police. No one, not even God, stands between me and my sister. God bless me with do terrible things to defend her. As a given, the law is blindfolded yet not blind, indeed.
Then you phone the police.
Yeah.
You phone the fucking police.
What a concept.
The Belov that he had not previously seen a knife when he pushed the girl and only saw the weapon after she got back up. He replied, "I'm pretty sure I saw the knife behind her back." Speaking after the conviction, a girl's mother told BBC Scotland News the guilty verdict was a good thing. She said they were telling the truth and they were slandered. There were too many lies at the start, so I'm glad it's all come out. The woman said that it was heartbreaking seeing her daughter getting dragged about on the CCTV shown in the court. So there we go. We have it. They actually assaulted them first. The girls were telling the truth, and this guy was actually a dirty nonce, saying
Mhm.
inappropriate things to a bunch of kids. And then because they gave him cheek back, he phoned up his 20-year-old sister to come and beat them up. And then when they pulled out knives to defend themselves, they were demonized all throughout the media. And lefties were going, no, the girls started it because that's what Neds do. And yeah, okay, in my experience, yeah, they do. They do that, right? So you can't
Not
blame
this
people too
time,
much
though.
for thinking that. However, it would be a bit of a strange thing for a 12-year-old girl to pull out a knife and an axe for no fucking reason whatsoever, right? Unless there was a bunch of adults who came up and were saying inappropriate things to them and then attacked them. Right, look, I'm sorry, if you say inappropriate sexual comments to fucking Waynes and they start shouting abuse back at you, you've deserved that. You've earned that, right, for being a fucking weirdo. And also, well done, girls, little girls all over the country. This would be amazing. See if any guys come up and start trying to be a creep to you. See if he's just all jump them. I mean, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, no,
Don't do
so
that. Do
totally
not
don't do that for legal
assault people.
reasons. Don't do
Don't
that.
do that, right? However, despite the fact that you are all like 11, 12, 13, 14, etc., you all have a right to defend yourselves.
Yes.
You all have a right to defend yourselves. And if a group of you want to start...
It doesn't matter what the state says. You've got a right to defend yourself. Everyone's got the right to self-defense. It's a universal human right. Don't do that unless...
shouting abuse at a guy and shouting, hey, everyone, this guy just said dirty sexual comments to us and we're all 12. If there's any locals nearby that want to react to that information, well, then it's completely out of your hands. It's out of your hands at that point. Basically, if I heard that,
for legal
I would
reasons,
come
this is a
running, and
joke,
I'm fairly
indeed.
certain that every single man watching this video also would as well. So basically, girls, again, I am not encouraging or condoning violence in any way. But girls, I'm going to say there's no children watching me, right? But basically, if anyone who has kids or anyone wants to say that information, girls, shout for help and point out that this person just said horrible sexual things to you and that you're a 12-year-old girl. And then a bunch of Scottish men are going to hear that, and then you just let fate do the rest.
All hell will break loose.